Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. I really hope you guys enjoyed my Metallo review. Again, I got another sweet review for you guys today. This is probably going to be one of my favorites because it has to do with one of my favorite Batman villains. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Today, we will be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Mr. Freeze. And as you guys can see off the bat immediately, this guy is recolored to look like the animated series Mr. Freeze. This is a great design for Mr. Freeze, possibly one of my favorites. Now, this guy, we have gotten different versions of him. We've gotten the first version, which was he had the blue skin and the more modern day look. Now we have this one with the white skin and the more purple suit and blue suit, kind of looking like the animated series. And then we have the Platinum Chase of, not this one, but the original one. And then we have the, I think it's a gold label McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. I could be wrong about that, but I think that one in particular is Mr. Freeze's first appearance, which I believe is, it's like Dr. Zero or Captain Zero or something like that. It's Mr. Freeze's, whatever his name was before Mr. Freeze. So, as you guys can see, McFarlane Toys, DC Multiverse, the 12 plus symbol, and then the 22 moving parts. Go ahead and flip to the side. Mr. Freeze, DC Multiverse, flip to the back, and holy crap, I love this artwork. If you know the tragic backstory behind Mr. Freeze, this artwork is beautiful, it's amazing, it's perfect. I love this artwork. I give credit to McFarlane for this. This is probably one of my very favorite artworks. It's Mr. Freeze looking at his wife, Nora, who's frozen. So there's a lot of emotion coming off of this picture. So there's that, and then flip to the side again, Mr. Freeze. Go ahead and flip down to the bottom. Here is his UPC and barcode in case it helps anybody. Without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this guy open and take a closer look. Alrighty, we are back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Again, like I said, I'm very excited for this guy. I know he's just a reuse and reissue, well, not a reissue, excuse me, reuse and repaint, but still, I love the sculpt, I love the paint, we'll get all into it. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of his accessories. Again, every McFarlane figure comes with the McFarlane display stand with the DC logo etched right there, which we've seen, they come with all the figures, so we've seen this multiple times. And then, as I was saying, let's go ahead and take a look at the card. And again, as I was saying in the intro, if you guys know Mr. Freeze's tragic backstory, the card does a brilliant job of that. The artwork, there's the card. Same image we saw in the back of the box. They do crop out Nora just a little bit, but still, I love this. This screams Mr. Freeze. This is just, I love it. It's great. Again, Mr. Freeze down there. Here is his read-up. If you want to read that, pause now. So, and then his only other accessory that he comes with is his freeze gun, which like I've said, we've seen this sculpt for this freeze gun multiple times now. We've seen it with the various different body molds for this Mr. Freeze, and I think this mold has been reused 3 or 4 different times. I think it's been 4 times. You got this version, the more modern day looking one, the Mr. Freeze's first appearance, and then there's one other one. Oh, the Platinum Chase. So I guess 4 times this body mold has been used, but still, I think it's a good Mr. Freeze buck. I really do. Again, the very nice translucent white here, or clear. That way, it actually looks like ice, or some people could say water, but it's supposed to be ice. I personally prefer this over the frosty or white version, which I will bring in that freeze here in a moment. Here in a moment to compare. Excuse me. So we'll gladly take a look at that, but I just want to talk about the attention to detail on this. Very nice gunmetal gray, blue right here, and the wash all throughout. It's just, it's good. It's incredibly well. So there's that. And then again, like I said, this can't remove. You can't take this off. You can twist it a little bit, but I wouldn't twist that too much. But yeah, and then like I said, he has no problem holding that. So there's that. Let me go ahead real quickly before we take a look at Freeze. Let me go ahead and take a look at let me go ahead and bring in the other Mr. Freeze, which here he is. Sorry, he's a bit dusty. He's been sitting on my shelf for a while. Here is the other Mr. Freeze, which was the first one released. And as you guys can see, they are both the exact same. Here's your more modern day Mr. Freeze, compared to your animated series repaint, which, if I'm being completely honest, as much as I like the modern day one, I think I like the animated series looking more. It just screams more comic book and more, I'm not going to say more authentic, but I think I like this one just a bit more. And then, like I said, both domes are removable and different paint, and like I said, everything on this guy is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the paint. So, but yeah, I just wanted, and then like I was talking about with the freeze guns, like I said, look, this one's a more clear plastic, where this one's more of like a white, and then it's got the dry brush of silver on there. So, I mean, you definitely get options. And then again, the gunmetal, this is more of a like a bluish gunmetal gray, whereas that one's just more of a silver gunmetal gray, or a bluish silver, I suppose. So, there are the two, looking at them side by side. I do like how the blues definitely match up with their suits, so very nice. I just figure I give that comparison there. And then also, one other comparison that I also figure I bring in, a little bit of dust there. Let me go ahead and set him up right here. This one, for some reason, does not like to stand. My other one had no real problem. Here's the other Mr. Freeze's card that came with this guy over here. There's his card, and I believe this is Greg Capullo's Mr. Freeze. This is his artwork. I can see the inspiration and where some of that came from, and then there's his read-up if you want to read that, pause now. But I just figure I show off the different trading cards that come with the Mr. Freeze, and then I'm wondering, are their read-ups the same? It does look like, yeah, it does look like the read-ups are the same. Maybe they're not, but if you want to read both of them at the same time, pause now. But yeah, I just figure I bring that guy in and show you guys the comparison between the two. So, without further ado, and then for one real quick other comparison before we look at this version of Mr. Freeze, here is the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Batman and Robin Mr. Freeze, which is the only other Mr. Freeze in my collection. So I have three. So I have the movie version, the animated series repaint, and the more modern style looking Mr. Freeze. All of these Mr. Freeze figures are great additions to the collection. I'm so thrilled to have them all. The Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze was a Build-A-Figure from the Batman and Robin wave. Oh, and also, stay tuned. My Batman Forever wave is coming soon. Probably have that up Saturday. So then, anyway, now that you guys have kind of seen your comparison, I'm going to go ahead. Let's jump right into the figure. So, as I was saying, this guy is really just a reissue and a repaint, which again is completely fine. I bar no upsetness or whatever. I think this is great. This is a great reuse, great everything. I love the texture, the gunmetal gray, and then the blue we're seeing, or the metallic silver gunmetal gray, the belt, all the way down here to the blue, which that actually does swivel, believe it or not. So very nice articulation there, and then just in general, this looks really well. And then all the texture you get on the canister back here, that little dent there, and all the textures and cracks, and very Spaceman kind of. Not quite Spaceman, but it's definitely got that very futuristic feel to his suit. And then you get the tubes up here going through and supplying him with oxygen or freeze formula or keeping his suit cooled or what have you. But that looks well. That looks very well. So let me go ahead and pop off his dome, which, like I said, that just pops off. It pops off for the other one as well. There's his head sculpt. Very nice. This actually almost reminds me of the Arkham games looking Mr. Freeze. The way it's textured and the red eyes and the white skin. It's very reminiscent of Batman Arkham City and parts of Batman Arkham Knight for sure. And also Cold Heart if you want, but Cold Heart, he looked more blue than white. I think he looked more white in City, but still. Very nice there, nevertheless. Again, I don't have a whole lot to really say about this guy, just other than the new textures and paint and stuff I'm seeing. So I'm very happy with this guy. And like I said, he has no problem holding his freeze gun. He just very carefully fit that in his hand. And like I said, this one definitely stands a lot better than the original one did. I will say that, because like right there, that guy stands a whole lot better than the original one did. So Very very happy and pleased with that. And like I said, you can literally just pop this guy back on, make sure that lip right there on the helmet coincides with the lip down there, push, and there you go. And there's Mr. Freeze. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go over articulation. Both arms can come up to 90. He does have the butterfly joint here for extra range of motion, extra movement there. Very nice. He does this twist here. He can go back that far, come up that much. I'm not trying to mess with that too much. Double jointed arms right there. You do get a bicep swivel. It is kind of hidden, but it is right there in the bicep. So there's that. He can kick up about that much. He can kick back about that much. They can do the splits. And then, as I was saying, you do get a little bit of rotation, not a whole lot. Double jointed knees come down here. You do get boot cut down here, which is very nice. I'm very thrilled with that. You get boot cut right there. And then they can go down that much, up that much, and twist. And of course, boot articulation or toe articulation. And then looking at the hands, they can all, it looks like, hinge up and down, and if you turn it the right way, side to side. So there's this articulation for this Mr. Freeze, exact same as the other one. And like I said, I know this guy is just a reissue. Well, not a reissue, I guess. Well, I suppose you could call it a reissue, but it's really not. It's more of a repaint, but still, I've heard people call it a reissue. Let me know in the comments down below. Would you guys consider this a reissue? I just consider it a repaint. But if you guys consider it a reissue, hey, you guys consider it a reissue. But there's Mr. Freeze. That was my full review on Mr. Freeze. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I was saying, Mr. Freeze is one of my most favorite comic book characters and just in general. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for my next one, which will be I believe my Robin Tim Drake review. So stay tuned for that. And I will catch you all in the next one.